Okay, slightly different way of doing this time. Reporting from the Dirty Gophers Burrow. So this is the war versus the International Assassins. So let's have a quick look at the way the war map looks. A little bit of a problem they had at our top end. Didn't do too badly as they got down to the bottom end, and lots of 3 stars as you get to the end. Quite a few attacks in the middle. For us, did not too badly. A few Town Hall 11s dropping down, which we'll look at later because they're quite useful. But generally 3 stars most things. A couple of problem bases that we regret in the end, but hey, you know that sometimes it happens in war. So let's have a look first of all at number 4, which is going to show Town Hall 11 dropping down, having a go at Town Hall 10. It still needs to be done, but we're going to look at this one. We've got kind of max heroes, but we're going to look at the 4 Quake method with lots of golems and lots of witches. So Hound in the CC, it's not really going to cause too much of a problem. First of all, set the golems coming in, and here comes the Quake, and then the CC, which opens really most of the centre. I think we'll see very much this attack how powerful Town Hall 11 is, because even though we now started into the base, we've created a nice pretty little funnel along with from the wizards, and everything's starting to flow in. The pound pops, there's plenty of wizards to do with all the pups, but we now see a little problem with the king starting to walk a little bit, and the queen as well, which luckily we'll see later the queen decides to redirect, which is quite nice, back inside the base, which will save us a little bit of trouble later. The king eventually will join her, but not for quite a while. Freeze goes down, and it's gone down, trying to stop the infernos, but generally with the amount of stuff that's going on in the centre, particularly from all the witches and the wizards, the freeze really is kind of not that great, but in fact shows the power of the Town Hall 11. As we're going now, we're starting to see very limited defences against the witches. Most of the kind of splash defence has gone down, so not much kind of stopping them running through a base where basically it's very open, very few compartments. So 40 heroes, Queen's not popped the ability, but this is going straight through, and even though the expo is there, ultimately with the Warden and the Queen being present, this isn't going to stop this base going through. So we speed up through this part because really it's over. There's not much going to stop us with all the remaining troops left in here. This one Archer Towers has just gone down now. So a nice one Ed, or should say it's Max. Next one we're going to have a quick look at is a little bit lower, and it's a nice attack by Jay, and it's hitting a little bit up, but Jay is quite an expert at these sort of bases, and we're going to see hopefully a nice go-ho. Not the best beginning for this attack. There's lure fails, which doesn't help, so you need to plug and get that Jay to where you're going to lure properly and not lure. And realistically, how you're going to take the queen out. Key part of this is identifying where the double bombs are, take out the double bombed areas, and then basically take out the queen. So this is what I do. This is what the kill squad golems, king and queen, creating the funnel with the wizards, standard stuff. Then going to jump across the gap. The golems reroute and jump into the little moat around the town hall. Thing is, what one might expect in some ways the queen at this point to kind of jump the wall. Unfortunately she decides to stick behind the wall, which does mean the king can't get at her, but as we'll see shortly, the queen does. CC comes out, poison slows its attack speed down, and will remove basically eventually remove the balloons. Queen and the wizards clear out the dragon. Now king removing some wizards but can't actually get at the queen, but the attacking queen can, and even though there's attack by Tesla, she's still got enough to deal with the problem. And now the surgical part of the hogs comes in, using the giant just to distract the point defences, and then the hogs coming in, and then some nice heals, particularly over the high HP buildings such as the expos. Coming also surgically in the top, and then we'll start seeing some surgical from the left hand side. again with a giant just to distract things. But now we've worked out effectively there are no real giant bomb areas that's going to cause us a problem. So when they surgically come in this way, again, heal in the right place, heal in advance, so everything's going to be going down, including the Teslas. And you can start seeing it with the number of hogs still left. This base is now toast. Well done, Jay, and we'll start to speed through this as realistically this attack is now finished. Several other 3-star attempts if you go down, and Manjal's still doing the job. Town Hall 10 dropping down. I want to have a quick look at Leo's attack, just to show you some ways that Go Wee Wee can work in the right sort of base and overwhelm the defences. So this is standard kind of Go Wee Wee, but probably a little bit extra in the witch stake. A lot of wizards use the forequake to get into the base. And then actually when you look at them realistically, there aren't that many defences around the outside that are going to be attacking the central core, so that's going to leave Leo with a reasonably easy chance to kind of 3-star the base. Standard kind of dragon in the clan castle under rage, that will go down quite quickly. And then all of the wizards, witches, heroes, golems going to move into the centre. The golems doing a lot of tanking, occupying a lot of defences, such as the expos, which are no longer able to attack those things, such as the heroes and the witches. And as with a lot of these defences, what's key about it is once you've cleared out most of the splash defences with witches, realistically there's limited things that can kill off them, simply because the rate of fire of cannons and archer towers are so slow in terms these witches will respawn huge numbers of skeletons. So once basically these last 2 wizard towers have gone down, then realistically this base will be finished. So last wizard tower going down to some witches, the golem's still there tanking away, and now producing so many skeletons they're going to beat through most of these walls quite quickly. Obviously one of the problems with the attack is that you need to be careful a little bit about the giant bombs and spawn so many skeletons. Obviously those can die very quickly, but with kind of only these sort of level walls, the skeletons are ripping through the walls quite quickly. Now down to only 2-point defences left. Still got huge numbers of wizards left, and witches, and similarly huge numbers of skeletons. And this is just going to overwhelm these last couple of point defences. Let's fast forward. Boom! Nice one, Leo. Have a great defense, great time, nice war all the gophers.